We're back. All right, that Crawford Canelo fight is over. Shocking. We know who won now. We know who's better. It was a great fight. We're also going to talk about the NFL and Molly left first take. Crazy, crazy news. It's a lot going on right now. What's up, Wade? What's up, Jason?
What's up?
Welcome
Good.
back. Let's start off with some breaking news. Molly left first take. It was said that ESPN gave her an offer and she declined it. Um, yeah, what was your first reaction to that, Wade? How did you feel?
I was upset, man. I love seeing Molly on First Take. Um, I think she did a great job. Like I said, she turned down the offer, so I'm excited to see what she has next. But I'm definitely going to miss her on those shows, man. I'm gonna miss seeing her on them shows, man.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely cool. I mean, she was a great moderator, great host. Shout out to all the hosts who host shows out there. Um, but Jason, how did you take the news? I know you have your thoughts on first take. Did she, how did you feel about her being on the show?
I was actually a fan of hers. I thought she was good. I enjoyed the fact that she kept a lot of those guys in line. She was a really good host, and it's unfortunate to see her go. I feel like we're seeing a lot of the women, particularly women of color, seem to be leaving ESPN and Fox Sports and all of that. Um, so it's disappointing that she wasn't apparently valued by ESPN the way some of us fans actually thought she should have been valued, particularly when you're paying somebody like Stephen A. Smith, who I've had enough of. Uh, that dude's making 20 million or 25 million or whatever, how much he's getting paid to be, to get on everybody's nerves and like never leave the TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Molly was somebody who I definitely could tolerate, and they moved on from her, and that's really disappointing. I hope to see her and even Joy Taylor and others. I hope to see them actually do something else and find their way back into sports media. Hey, we got a space
Yeah,
here, but
Stephen A. Smith
I don't think they're gonna
actually,
like the offer.
huh?
I said we got a space here, but I don't think they're going to like the offer that we can give them.
You talking about inviting Molly on?
Yeah, bringing Molly or Joy Taylor, either one.
Yeah,
Mm. You gonna
I
have them
wonder.
take my job? They do the same thing I do.
I wonder what Molly's offer was, though. I wonder what it was. Compared since you comparing it to Stephen A. or just saying Stephen A.'s. I wonder
Yeah,
what.
I mean, yeah, and then I was gonna say, Stephen A. Smith signed $105 million deal for 3 years, so that's about 36 million a year, something like that. But I don't know what the reason was, but it was very abrupt. I feel like not a lot of people knew it was gonna happen. A lot of people were surprised by it, and then it was like usually you at least come on and say goodbye to the fans, if it's like a cordial separation. But so it makes you think that, something happened where it's like she's not, on good terms with ESPN.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking
Yeah.
maybe Stephen A. broke up, or maybe Stephen A. had a wire on again. You know what I mean? It's another person.
Yo, who values Stephen A. Smith at 36 or $35 million a year? I'm not seeing the value in that personally. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anybody who would watch ESPN for Stephen A. Smith. And if anything, he's oversaturated. He used to really give um, good insight, particularly when it came to NBA basketball. He used to be on top of it, and I was a fan back in the day. But I don't really feel like he does that anymore. I don't know if he doesn't have the same relationships or what, but I don't feel like he gives that same kind of insight for like people who want, you know, inside information in basketball. Um, so I'm curious as to what the value, why ESPN thinks they get that much value out of Stephen A. Smith, and that they can't find someone else or groom someone else to be like that.
It's probably just popularity, really. I mean, it's a popularity contest at the end of the day. I don't even think it like they're paying him off like um, the way he analyzes the game because it doesn't seem like you said, he's doing much of that anymore, Jason.
Yeah.
Um, do you still watch him, Wade?
Yeah, I actually like Stephen A. Man, I think it has become like personal with him and a lot of players. Like, and I think like with a lot of these shows, letting the analysts do their spin-offs or their own little side shows is probably taken away from the main show a little bit. So, I mean, I like Stephen A. Man, I like him. I ain't gonna lie, man. I like Stephen A. I miss Stuart Scott though, but I like Stephen A. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I like Miss Stuart Scott. I
Yeah.
think he does the best he can do, man. I think Stephen A. is relatable, but I know a lot of people don't like him, so I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm gonna miss seeing Molly, man, on first day. That's one of the main reasons why I watched it. You know what I mean? I'm waiting to get M's answer as well,
Well,
man.
yeah, I still
Let,
watched the
let me
last
be
2 days
clear.
because I like the show in general.
Yo, let me be clear. It's not that I dislike Stephen A. Smith. I think he's oversaturated, and I don't think he puts the same time into sports that he used to. He doesn't really know the game like he used to know, at least NBA basketball. And then he starts commenting on sports that he clearly doesn't understand, like boxing. Even though he did pick Terrence Crawford and I didn't, so I will give him that. But other than that, like they took someone, particularly with boxing, they took someone like Max Kellerman off the network who actually knows boxing really well.
Mhm.
And that let Stephen A. Smith make comments about it, and it's just boring. I mean,
Well,
to me, it's just getting old.
well, Jason, I will say this: if you don't give someone compliments and you don't say anything good about them, it sounds like you don't like them.
Yeah, no, I mean, but what I'm saying is he has the ability. He came from a really good place. I mean, he is charismatic. But now it just seems like, oh, but when I get the when I get the basketball, it's like, oh my god, all right, are you gonna make a point, bro? You know what I mean? Like it's different now than it used to be. Before he would do all of that, but then he knew the game inside and out, and the whole him going back and forth about LeBron for like 4 weeks was like, oh god, yo, talk about something else, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do want to correct myself. Stephen A. Smith's contract with ESPN is 5 years. Sirius XM is 3 years. So together, that's about 126 million or something close to that. I don't know. Okay, I'd like to welcome our special guest, Neighborhood Alchy. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, appreciate you. Welcome to We Not Playing. So let's just start off like this. Let's get right into it. You and I both had Terrence Crawford winning. And then he put on a show. Everybody was kind of like surprised at how well he did, but you weren't, right, Black?
Oh, nah, definitely not surprised. I knew that he could outbox him. The only issue that everybody had is, what if he gets hit and he gets slowed down? He get hit with a big shot and now he's not able to move his feet. He get hit in the body, his legs get taken away from him, and he can't move around the ring. Or it's just become one of those fights like Canelo last fight. The guy, they say he was just running the whole time and he lost on the scorecard. So um, that's what we were worried about. But it looked like he's not afraid of nobody.
Yeah, it was a good fight. I know Jason had some doubts about Terrence Crawford winning in the beginning, but when you watched the fight, how'd you feel?
It's interesting. I think people sleep on how good a boxer Canelo Alvarez is and how good defensively he is. And I think a lot of people think he fights Mexican style. He really doesn't. I mean, he's a little flat-footed, but in terms of head movement and body movement, counters, like Canelo's good. Canelo's weakness to me, from watching his career, is that he gets tired. I've seen him get winded. You know what I mean? And I thought that was Terrence Crawford's, best shot was to get him winded. And the guys we've seen who have done that have been guys who throw a lot of punches. So guys like Bivol, and popping the jab a bunch. Guys like Like, even though he didn't technically beat him, Triple G, who basically took him down to the wire. Floyd Mayweather is Floyd Mayweather, so we put him in a different category. But I didn't think Canelo boxed poorly. It's just Terrence Crawford boxed incredibly. Like stuff like when I rewatched the fight, I was looking at Canelo and I was like, he's doing everything right. Like that one highlight where he does the right thing. He takes down the lead hand and then he comes across with the cross. But Terrence Crawford slips like perfectly and it comes back with the counter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just brilliant boxing. Every time Canelo would try to counter with an overhand right, he was always covered. It was just phenomenal boxing. And every time I doubt Terrence Crawford, he seems to rise to the occasion. The question is, and I have this question for my man Alchy, what do you think? I mean, people are talking about Terrence Crawford and Benavidez. Are you still on the Terrence Crawford train with somebody like Benavidez, 6 feet tall, tons of reach, hand speed, faster than, Canelo and faster than Spence. And everybody's scared of him. They call him the monster. So what do you think Terrence Crawford's chances are in that fight?
I don't think he got no chance. I don't think he got, because that jab, it doesn't matter about size when people not using their jab enough. But David Benavidez is going to use his jab. He's going to use his reach. And not only that, he knows how to cut the ring off. And I don't think you want to go blow for blow with Mexican Monster. So I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, Terrence, he didn't particularly go blow to blow with Canelo, but he did stand in there a few times, and he looked good standing in there.
Yeah, he won those exchanges.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Terrence Crawford is one of those special athletes where, big punches, like he can handle them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But David Benavidez big punches are a little different.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm so high on Terrence Crawford. I don't know, man. I might have to give it to Crawford. I don't know. Like, we don't know if he'll take that fight and if that fight's going to happen. And if Benavidez can even make 68 anymore. We're not sure about that. But that is definitely an intriguing fight. Now, Alki, I want to ask you about some local boxing. So I was recently at a fight, been to a couple of fights that this kid has had. A guy named Jordan Short Dog White. Are you familiar with him?
Yes, sir. Even Wardolph.
Yeah. So, we were really excited about a guy from the area making it to the next level. But we saw that last fight. We went to his last fight. He didn't get knocked out, but it was a pretty one-sided victory for the other guy. Where do you think Jordan goes from here?
I think he's a talented guy. He can definitely go on some top ranks and get some big fights, but I don't know. You just got to have that it factor sometimes. And if he proves me wrong, maybe he'll have that it factor in the future with this bad loss. Maybe that'll turn that dog in, that dog chip in him. But I don't know. Right now, it's just been him fighting some mediocre to low class fighters and kind of cleaning up. And now every time it's like it's time to step to that next level, it's a little bit difficult for him. But I can tell you one fighter from the area that did get the victory this past week. Jaleel Hackett he was in Vegas. It was the pre-undercard on Thursday for the Canelo Crawford. So they had a whole weekend full of fighting. And Jaleel Hackett, he's straight out of Southeast DC, and he cleaned up. He knocked the dude down. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that the guy could have kept fighting, but I think the ref looked in his eyes and he didn't want to go back out there. So yeah, he let him go. He got that guy out of there quick. So I believe that might be the DMV great hope, Jaleel Hackett.
And is there like a dream fight you have right now where you're like, I really want to see these two guys fight. You know, a lot of people are talking about, of course, you got Shakur and Tiafimo. You got Devin hanging out there who might fight one of them. Like, what's the fight that you most want to see right now?
I want to see Jaron Ennis fight Virgil Ortiz. I don't see a lot of people talking about it, and I don't
Yeah.
see Boots. I don't think Boots has a belt now that Terrence Crawford stepped out. A lot of people moved up in weight, and the belts at 154 just scrambled around. And Boots just got the 154, so if he can fight Virgil Ortiz there, I think that's the one. And both of them, they're not straying away. It's gonna be a brawl.
Yeah, no, that would be a great fight. I'll tell you, I think Israel Madrimov is going to be a tough out for anybody at 54. We
Yeah.
saw he made Terrence Crawford look regular.
Yeah.
He's the only fighter in the last several fights who's made Terrence Crawford look like a regular fighter. And that was, I mean, I think Terrence Crawford won, but it wasn't. It was close. Like you could have judged that fight either way. You know what I mean? Like it was not a dominant performance by any stretch. So, I think Ortiz and Boots would be a good fight, but the winner facing Madrimov would be a really good fight. And I got Madrimov, to be honest. Like Madrimov he's a tough guy to deal with.
And the only thing is, styles make fights, so it might be Terrence Crawford being an outboxer and Madrimov being kind of like the quick, like Madrimov was quick, and he kept moving. He just won't stop moving. So it might be somebody like Virgil Ortiz come in, hit Madrimov in the body, because I see a lot of guys who look good in the beginning of their career, especially these Ukrainian boxers. They look real good, then they start getting hit in the body. It's like, man, all this time we didn't know he couldn't take a body shot. Like Loma and what's the guy that always wears his shorts too high? He fought Tyson Fury with the gap.
Usyk?
Yeah, Usyk, man, he can't take a body shot.
Yeah, I don't know. Usyk was really good. Usyk is good. So is Loma.
Yeah,
I don't know, brother. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Both of those guys, are really, 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 really good. I mean, and I think Loma actually beat Devin in that fight.
it's a
I think
reason.
Devin,
There's a reason those Ukrainians wear they shorts all the way up to almost to they breast. Every time they get hit down there, they're like, "Oh no, that was a low blow."
yeah. No, I would agree with you. I think Dubois or whatever his name is, Dubois, he kind of got robbed because that body shot was legal.
That's what I'm saying.
I felt that way, but a lot of professionals say that it was a low blow. Looked legal to me. Looked like it was on the belt to me, but
yeah, that's because he rocking one of those what those women wear when they trying to hide their belly.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, some type of waist trainer.
Yeah, he wearing a waist trainer in the ring.
2 questions for you, Black. Why is everyone moving up to the welterweight, and also who do you see Canelo fighting next?
I still think Canelo should fight Benavidez. I don't really want to see Benavidez versus Crawford, to be honest. And Canelo, 34, he could have another $100 million fight. Why not? And welterweight, I mean, it's just, I don't know why, but people not watching lightweight. Like, I wouldn't say like they used to, because even Floyd had to move up from lightweight. It's not a lot of boxers down there. I wish they would stay down there, because I think whatchamacallit coming from Japan might go up to 130 at the highest. So I wish some people would stay down there. Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
But
so what's 140? Is that still lightweight? What's 140?
That's junior welterweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what Adrian Broner was talking about, coming back and fighting that. He said 140.
Then he fighting at 140 proof.
Yeah,
man. But if he was to come back and be in the junior welterweight, like who's there? Who's still in the junior welterweight that he could fight?
Regis Prograis, maybe.
I mean, Devin Haney fights around that size, right?
I don't think he wants to fight
Tiafimo.
Devin Haney though, does he?
Oh nah, he can't fight at that level. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot. So let me just say, I think Canelo is gonna retire. I don't think he's gonna fight another fight. Um, Once boxers start talking like, um, I'm really a winner because I still have my family, like that's when you know it's over. You know what I mean? That's when it's like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. And then I think Crawford should probably retire. Like what else does he have to prove? You know, I mean, other than getting another big payday, I don't really see a reason for him to fight again. He's proven everything that he needs to prove, and the man is 37 years old.
I think he
The other
turned
thing,
38
Yeah, I
now.
think he's 38. And then, what weight would he fight at if he did fight again?
Man,
yeah, I
I
think
saw
he
a
should.
video. They said Crawford's still moving like he's still broke, man. He don't care. He don't
Yeah,
care about his
he took
age.
10 million for the fight.
Yeah, he probably didn't even look at his bank account. He's still in Omaha. He ready
Yeah,
to fight for, whatever.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was for the glory. And it was just to prove people wrong. I mean, if you bet on Crawford, you came up because the odds were against him, which I still don't understand. Like, I know that his chances were slimmer than his other fights, but I don't know. Ever since he fought Errol Spence, I was just like, I don't know what he can't do. And now that he beat Canelo, it's like I don't think I could ever bet against Terrence Crawford, unless he's fighting at 45 years old or something.
I mean, Benavidez, you know what I'm saying? That's a Benavidez, even a fight with Bivol would be interesting. You know what I'm saying?
No, Black.
Those say what?
Um,
He's shaking his head. No.
because it's different when size matters. I think size matters when people be popping that jab. It's hard for him to get in there. It's hard to find angles on people like Benavidez, especially Bivol. I don't know how anybody gonna find an angle on Bivol. He might go undefeated.
Yeah, I mean he's a tough fighter. I think Terrence can beat Bivol. Um, he does pop the jab a lot. He gets in and out quickly. But Terrence Crawford in a chess match, I'm taking Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Over Bivol. And I think Beterbiev, his best days are behind him, or else I would take Beterbiev because Beterbiev was folding dudes, you know, just a couple of years ago. He was literally folding guys, but now he's slowing down. So I think he's got fights out there, but I just don't think that they attract the kind of attention that Canelo Alvarez does. So what's the benefit? Like, you're on top of the world. Start doing other things, get into other ventures, start thinking about something other than fighting.
Yeah.
And don't be AB clearly, because AB is fighting because he has to fight. He has nothing else, unless, like my man Wade said, he's going to start. He's going to be a mechanic, or be fixing sinks.
Well,
And no disrespect to that. That's an honorable thing. I know some guys that are mechanics and fix sinks and all of that, and they do a great job, and they make damn good money, by the way.
mhm.
You know what I mean? You're a plumber, you making six figures easy.
Well, I don't even know.
Still,
I don't even know if he has to do that. Apparently, you can make money getting kicked off podcasts. So,
right? Seriously.
I
Well, he
mean,
ain't gonna make that kind of money getting kicked off this podcast. I'll tell you that.
the most money. I think the most money he can make right now is fighting some streamers, man. He gonna have to fight Logan Paul or I Show Speed or Casanat or something. I don't know. He can fight me.
Casanat.
I'm a TikToker. I take 25,000 to fight the drunk Adrian Broner.
See, that's a fight that I'm willing to take. Wade, not the one with Tyson. I'll fight AB.
AB, he's still alright though, man.
Hey, if you
Nah,
got
He's small though.
if you got to
He had
fight
140. I
AB,
mean, not to say he can't outbox me, he probably will win. But yeah, I'll take a 140 fighter over Tyson.
Oh
I
yeah, for
sent some bottles over to his locker room. He can't resist it.
Right
Yeah,
before the fight, yeah.
Sparklers and all. Yeah,
What's his favorite
sparklers while he
drink?
getting his hands wrapped.
yeah. Some bottles, maybe send a stripper, and it's a wrap. But you know what? That just made me think of a real interesting idea. We could do, drunk fights. We put on a fight. You got to drink 8 beers like an hour before the fight, and then
An
we put
hour
you in the ring.
before. Let's do 10 minutes before.
Yeah, well, 10 minutes you probably got to pee, like, but like give you an hour. You know what I'm saying? And then you in there and you got to fight drunk. That would be hilarious.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I would love for
Yeah,
it
a
to be
lot of
closer to
blood.
the time because I want you to like the drunkenness to really hit you while you're in the middle of the fight. Like, oh, you feeling it now?
Yep, right around round 3, you like, oh,
Yeah,
he's not getting up off the stool.
yeah. So, Alki, we know you got a lot of things coming up. Season finale of Chocolate City. I know you're involved in that. Are you excited?
Yeah, man. It's been a long ride. It's been a lot of work. I didn't know it would be so much work. It's my first show, but yeah, it's been exciting because I finally put that one acting class I took in the ninth grade to use.
Let me find out you was doing stage plays. You was doing.
Where you were singing in musicals, Alfie?
Nah, man.
Yeah, man.
Actually, my father came to a parent teacher conference and told my mom, I didn't know he was in theater. He got to get out of there.
Oh, man. What do they call those thespians or something? Man, nah, I didn't know that. I never knew you were in theater. That's crazy. He's trying to be on Degrassi or something. No, that's cool, man. And then you also got a podcast that you're starting, right?
Yeah, I'm starting my yeah, I'm really just interviewing people. I don't want to talk about dating or nothing like that. Right now, I'm doing my first series called Behind the Vibes, where we are interviewing event curators in the city, and going from there to do athletes and do a different series. And after that, I'm trying to do some creators, some DJs, some singers, some rappers. Just want to put a spotlight on some artists.
Well, plug us in, man. We want to help, wherever we can.
Yeah, definitely. Speakeasy podcast. We're gonna all work together.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate you coming on. It's been great talking to you. We got to have you again.
Yeah, thanks,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Nice to talk to y'all. Nice to meet y'all.
No
yeah, nice.
doubt. No doubt.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Thanks
All
for
right.
coming on.
Yeah. Thanks, Alki. Okay. Have you heard about this? It's a school in Baltimore, Robert W. Coleman Elementary School. They have decided to substitute detention with meditation. That sounds like a great idea to me, Jason. What do you think about it?
Yes, yes, I think it's an incredible idea. And shout out to the people who really have been pushing for this for a really long time, the Holistic Life Foundation, run by Ottman and Ali Smith, two guys who I went to college with and had kind of rivalries with in high school. So they're good friends of mine. Shout out to them. And they've seen a lot of evidence-based results in bringing meditation into the schools, making these kids take a mindful moment rather than different kinds of mediation and different kinds of punishments for acting out. Sometimes somebody just needs a breather and to get themselves centered. I know at the job that we work at, Bobby, I need to take a mindful moment quite a few times. I don't get an opportunity to do it, but definitely, I think it's something that there's evidence behind. There's evidence that this actually does lower the number of fights, lower the number of suspensions, and it also makes these kids feel like it's not a punitive thing. They don't get the label of being a bad kid. They get, just a moment to really recenter themselves. And I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say the same thing. Then they're not targeted as the disruptive student in the class. it doesn't like, outcast them from their peers. Because I know back in the day, I know that they punish you for anything these days in school. Because my young kids, you can just laugh wrong in school and they just, they get in trouble and they got to call home and get suspended and everything. Like back in the day, you used to have to either sit in a corner or you have to sit by the teacher all day. That was a punishment.
Yeah.
So, instead of being outcasted, they're doing this meditation way. What do you think about it?
I think it's good. Just as Jason said, I feel like it's a good practice because, as a person who used to stay in detention when I was a kid, I used to have to write on a piece of paper, I will not do it again. I remember I had to do that like for synthesis, front and back. And you would just be
You
more,
were like Bart Simpson.
exactly.
Yeah.
You'll just be more frustrated. It just make you worse than when you came in there. Then when you leave out of detention, you still have that anger. So I know, like with the meditation, I did some research. It reduces stress and anxiety, improves your focus and attention, boosts your memory and learning, and supports your emotional imbalance. And if you're in detention, you probably have an emotional imbalance. So I think this practice is really good, and it should help kids and make them feel like they're not being punished, and they just able to breathe and gather their thoughts and think about what they did. And so I agree.
Yeah, I remember those days too. That was definitely a PG County thing,
Yeah,
where you had to write the rules. I will follow this rule, or I
exactly.
will not do this in class. I didn't have to do that in Virginia. I feel like that was a Maryland thing around in this area. I don't know about the other schools in other areas, but
Yeah.
hopefully this has an impact on kids. Switching it up. Do you meditate? Either one of you meditate?
I do. I do. I sit there and I do breathing techniques, things like that, just try to calm myself down. So yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah, recenter the focus. That makes sense to me. I mean, will this help with kids' attention span too? You think, Jason?
I think so. I mean, there's a lot of evidence. I was just looking through and seeing some of the evidence behind mainly school discipline and the fact that the number of incidents go down once they bring meditation into the schools. But I think it could also help with overall focus, test taking. If you know when you're in a stressful environment how to recenter yourself, and how to take the stress out of that, that definitely will help you in a lot of situations. I know, a lot of times that I was in stressful situations when I was in school. And it's something that I teach my son, not necessarily full meditation, but to, breathe deep and, when you feel anxious, try to, calm yourself down and bring yourself to a good place. I think that can help anybody of any age, but certainly a school age kid.
Yeah. Well, you said the program has been successful so far, right, Jason? So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, meditation has been, there have been lots of randomized studies, and I could cite all the boring, academic studies that say that meditation helps children. But in the interest of time, I'm not going to go through that. What I will say is that I know Holistic Life Foundation personally. Those are really good guys, really smart guys. They've been people who have been honored by Hillary Clinton and all kinds of big names because of the work that they do and what they're doing, particularly for kids that are from where they're from, which is Baltimore City.
mhm.
And I think that, nationwide, there are a lot of places that could take something from this. Let's bring meditation to O Block. Let's bring meditation to, all of these areas. Instead of bringing the military, let's bring meditation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know if they plan on expanding to other schools or have they tried this at other schools before previously?
So I know they've traveled around and throughout Baltimore City, absolutely. They've done it at a lot of schools.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know that other schools have specifically replaced uh, detention with meditation, but I know
Hmm.
that they've had meditation classes and meditation sessions for the kids in many schools in Baltimore at all levels, elementary, middle, and high.
Hmm.
And, there have been a lot of good results. A lot of the school administrators are very happy with the work that they're doing.
Yeah, I'm glad it's working. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm so kind of surprised because when you're in elementary school, your attention span is very short. So it's got to be hard to kind of wrangle these kids into sitting still and doing some type of meditation. Um, do you think this would be effective in middle school and high school, Wade?
Yeah, I think it'd be effective. I'm not sure about high school, but I think the younger years, elementary and middle school, are good. Like I said, gives kids a time to woosah a little bit, work on their breathing techniques, learn different methods to control their anger and whatever they're going through. So yeah, I think it'd be helpful.
Yeah. Well, shout out to them. What's their names again, Jason?
So the organization is called Holistic Life Foundation. And the names are Ottman and Ali Smith. They're two brothers. And
Nice.
not just because they're black, like they're actual brothers.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, okay. All right, cool. No, that's good to know. Um, but anyway, going back to the NFL, Joe Burrow, he's out for at least 3 months. Um, with the it's like they have ranks of turf toe, which I didn't know, but he actually has the extreme turf toe. Did you know there were like different levels to turf toe, Jason? Being an athlete, I
I,
know you.
I didn't, but here's the thing. All of these injuries, of course, there's some that are more severe than others. And I think for someone like him who's still young, he should take all the time he needs. And they actually have a capable backup. Was it Jake Browning? He's actually a really capable backup. So, I mean, he's not Joe Burrow, but he can get them into playoff contention. Um,
Mm.
so I think Joe Burrow should take all the time he needs. But the interesting thing is that I think I read that 12 quarterbacks are injured already, starting quarterbacks in the NFL,
Hmm.
which is crazy. I don't know if defenses are just getting better or offensive lines are getting worse or guys are just doing riskier things when they're running and not sliding and all of that. But these quarterbacks are dropping like flies this season.
Yeah, I had Joe Burrow as one of the top five quarterbacks going into this 2025 season.
I mean, I think he
He,
is. I think he's top five going into any season. Like, it's him, Josh Allen,
mhm.
and Lamar Jackson, really, at the top of the heap. And then I think you could put Mahomes, but I feel like Mahomes is kind of sliding down. But I think of the top upper echelon,
Mhm.
it's the four of them.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what Mahomes does this week. Um, are you concerned about these Chiefs, Wade?
Yeah, with them being down 0-2, I am a little concerned. I see Kels only have one touchdown so far. So yeah, I'm concerned. I know we spoke about Kels a couple episodes ago, seeing how he was going to do this year, and it doesn't look like he's doing the best. But yeah, going back to Burrow, I think that's tough as well. I mean, to work hard all preseason, all in the summer, just getting ready for the season, then you have to get that surgery out 3 months, at the beginning of the season too. And then with them having a 2-0 record, one of the best records so far, that's tough. And my Chiefs being 0-2, you know, it, it's tough.
It's
But
got to be frustrating for Joe Burrow and you.
for sure. For sure.
But now, I mean, the Chiefs play the Giants next. And normally we would say easy win for the Chiefs, but the Giants look good their last game. And it went into overtime with the Cowboys, and they could have won, Jason. So, um, what do you think about the Chiefs and the Giants? I mean, is this going to be a good game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. I was actually really excited for Russell Wilson because he actually played a really good game. Went in there, threw for 450 yards, three touchdowns. He did have one pick late, but he needed that. He needed some comfortability, like to not feel like he was always looking over his shoulder. If he had had a bad performance, I think people would have been calling for the rookie. And they're showing that they can be competitive. So going into this week, I think they should glean a lot of good from it. It took Brandon Aubrey to make a 60-yard field goal to beat them. So they know they can play with anybody. And I think they really have a very good chance of going in and beating Kansas City while Kansas City is emotionally low right now.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, but I don't know if beating Dallas is enough to say that they can compete with anybody now.
I mean, but
Because
Dallas has played well in both of their games. Like, even
not
in that
well
first
enough,
game,
but yeah,
yeah, they lost. One of the games, but what was that first game? It was Philly?
yeah,
Who was it? I mean, Philly is top five in the league, and they were with them step for step for the entire game. So, um, Dak looks good. Dak looks like regular season Dak. You know what I'm saying? Regular season Dak is always on point. Um, so I think they're a sneaky good team. I think everybody is trying to compare them to the Green Bay Packers, and they're not that good, but they're good.
yeah. I mean, even with Russell having a good game, they still put Jackson Dart in at some point. So, I mean, what does that say? What was the point of them doing that?
I think Jackson Dart gives them a couple of other looks because Jackson Dart can run, whereas Russell Wilson, I mean, he can run, but he really can just get out of trouble. He's not like a takeoff on a designed run. And so when Jackson Dart goes in the game, and they want him to get some game experience because he's clearly going to take over, whether it's, at the end of this season or maybe next season. They want him to get some in-game experience, and they want to throw something at the defense where they're like, whoa, what's happening here? Gadget play, run, pass, like what's going to happen? I think he throws the defense off a little bit.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, speaking of quarterbacks, I must say Matthew Stafford has moved up to the top 10. He's now number 10 in the all-time passing leaderboard. Um, it's some very good names on here. And I'm going to say the names, Wade, and I want you to tell me who you think is um, number one on this leaderboard. We got no order: Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Ben Roethlisberger, Philip Rivers, Brett Favre, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Peyton Manning. Who do you think is leading in all-time passing yards?
Brady, of course. Brady, Drew Brees. Then I would go with Peyton.
Hmm.
Top three.
Yeah, that's the top three. And the numbers are ridiculous. I mean, I just told you Matthew Stafford moved in at number 10 at 60,000 yards, 352 yards. 60,352. But Tom Brady leads at 89,214 yards, Jason. Is that not a
Crazy.
ridiculous number?
That is so insane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Throw into a bunch of short, slow white guys and still putting up those numbers, except for those years he had Randy Moss. Which again, Randy Moss made a lot of average quarterbacks look amazing. So he was going to do good with the GOAT. But those amount of yards, I mean, it's comparable to the 50,000 points that LeBron is probably going to get. Not quite. I think 50,000 points is more impressive, but still, it's up there. And it's going to be a while before we see somebody who's actually going to put up that many passing yards.
Yeah, I mean, just because you said it is kind of funny. I mean, he put up these numbers, throwing to people like Julian Edelman, like Gronk. I can see, but like some of these receivers, like you said, they were slow and not that athletic. But I mean, if you get your mechanics down, your timing right,
Yeah.
I guess you can pick up these yards.
Yeah.
But
I
Drew
mean,
Brees at number 2, I think that makes sense. But 80,000 yards for Drew Brees is a lot, right, Wade?
That's a lot. I'm curious to see how many years Brady played. I'm curious to see if Mahomes
20, I
eventually
think.
20 played 20, and Mahomes is year what this year?
What is this, year 8, 7, 8?
Yeah, he's close to 10. I don't think he's at 10 yet, though.
12 more years. If he could do 12 more years, I think he'd be the closest one to catch that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
But I don't see him playing 20 years though. I don't.
Well, he's only 30 years old, so
22.
you know he got
It's like,
drafted in 2017. He went to the Chiefs. So yeah, he's just under 10 years. So he has some time. I wonder where he is on the list now. We'll have to look that up and look into that. But speaking of Tom Brady, being at the top of this list, we now know that he's an announcer with Fox, but he's also um, part owner or stockholder in the Raiders, and he was in the Raiders booth with a headset on. Wade, um, being an announcer as well as part owner of the Raiders, like, is that a conflict of interest to you?
Me personally, I don't think it's a conflict of interest, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I think if he was a referee, it would be a conflict of interest, obviously. But as an announcer, I mean, what is he going to do as an announcer? What is he doing? He's calling the game. I mean, how can he change? Like I said, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, or if y'all think something different. But how can he change up the outcome of the game by announcing? Like if he was a referee, I get it, or something like that. Like
Well, from what I know, as an announcer, you're welcome to some of the pregame meetings,
mm,
which you get to, like, uh, get to understand some of the strategies and some of the plays they might run. And not to say that Tom Brady going to use that and go back and show the Raiders, but I do
well,
think that him sitting in the booth with headsets on does look suspicious since he has a history of being accused of cheating, right, Jason?
footballs. I
Yeah,
get,
yeah, he does have Deflategate and all of that. And we also know, like, they can change, an announcer can change the perception of the game.
Mm,
They can sit there and be like, the refs are terrible, or you know what I mean? That was really a catch. You know what I mean? Like, they can definitely affect the way the game is perceived. But which again may not affect the outcome of the game, but at the end of the day, it can make his team more or less popular. You know what I mean? Which affects their bottom line, versus other teams. So there is something to it, but I
mhm.
heard Tom Brady do some games. I think the key is to not have him do Raiders games. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He can do other games. And of course, a lot of the announcers that are former players have a connection to the team that they played for. Troy Aikman, no one ever says Troy Aikman can't do, games or can't announce when I'm sure he's still close to people in that building. You know,
Yeah.
a
I
lot of
think it's
these
a little
players.
different when your money is involved, though, with the other team.
That is true. When you hold equity, that is very true.
Hmm.
Um,
And Troy Aikman was never accused of cheating that I know of.
yeah, I mean, something interesting about Troy Aikman? Do you know he was never an All Pro?
Really?
It's crazy because you think of Troy Aikman as one of the great quarterbacks of all time, and this is
Hmm.
how your reputation really gets boosted by being a Dallas Cowboy. But
Mm,
he never made an All Pro.
mm.
Um, not first team, not second team, not no team. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler, but as far as I know, he never made an All Pro.
Wow. We'll have to look into that because that's crazy. Because I remember in elementary school, they made it seem like he was the greatest quarterback alive.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think he just may
I,
have
I
been
mean,
over
I'm gonna fact check myself,
Hmm.
but
players on
I
that
don't
team.
believe so.
He must have just got overlooked because they had so many good players those years, man. I used to be a Cowboys fan, so I know those teams very well. So he just probably got overlooked because no way. Like you said, Bobby. Like we always know him to be. They had him up there with like Joe Montana and everybody back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember in elementary school, if you referenced football, you would lead by, starting off with the Cowboys, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, talking
Yeah.
about the Cowboy team. Um, but to your point, Jason, yes, Tom Brady can definitely change the perception of a game. He just did it not too long ago with the tush push. Like he was the one that called out them, that false start that the Eagles were doing when they do the tush push. So if he pointed that out, there's other things that he can point out. Not that he was wrong; he was 100% right, and it's great that he did it. But I'm just going to your point of him being able to change the perspective of the game, and now everybody's calling the Eagles cheaters, like they've been cheating on every single tush push play they ever did.
Yeah, no, I think announcers are important. Um, if you watch a game or a boxing match or anything without the announcers, you realize how different it is in the way they shape your perception of the event that's going on. So he definitely has a lot of power. But I say let him do it. Just don't let him do Raiders games unless it's a Super Bowl. And even then, there might be someone else to put up there other than Tom Brady.
There's plenty of other people they can put up there than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has a good eye though. I'm glad he called that out. All I know is that I'm gonna have a whistle with me this weekend and it better not be any Eagles fans around me because I'm blowing the whistle every tush push play because I'm sure they're gonna do this false start thing again. Um, well, fellas, thanks, man. We're pretty much done. Oh, you had something to say, Jason?
No, I'm
Oh,
good.
looked like you were about to say something. All right, that's it, fellas. I appreciate you joining, like always.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, remember, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Press that bell notification and go to maisondedarius.com. Get you some. Get your smell good on. And look at all the great things that'll happen after that. All the luck that it brings to you. God bless.
God bless everybody. Take it easy. And shout out to Big Dog Entertainment.